Hey guys, welcome to Matt Kite. My name is Aaron Johnson. Today we are joined by Matt Aiken from North and Mystic. He's here for our 12 days of BrandMas.
It's that time,
dude. So good to catch up, Matt. As always, man. You're one of our absolute favorites, and it's always good to see what's going on inside the mind. I know you got a lot kicking. We wanted to ask, what are you most excited about? And I know that and this can be North or Mystic. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both. The products that you've got coming out for 25 and 26. What are some things that you're most excited about?
Let me wear my Mystic hat. I think we did a bunch of interviews at the AWSI show, and I think I was always constantly gushing about our new high-end suits, the Majestics.
Yeah.
Yamamoto 40.
Yes.
Super, super stretchy, super easy to get into, really comfortable. You're not fighting it when you got to wear a 5 mil and get out in the cold weather. The new suits are great. Our harnesses have always been really strong, but another product I found myself using all the time. These days with cars, with your fobs and stuff, sometimes you do the old hide it under your bumper, and someone could potentially unlock your
Everybody
car
knows
and drive
that.
away.
Right.
And I've also found myself more and more, not always because I'm proud of this, just freaking busy at the beach and need my phone near me and stuff. And I've got this little DTS phone pouch that I've been using a bunch, and it's I'm not on the water now without it. Every session, it's either certainly my car keys or the phone, but it's got this sort of double overlap, sort of magnet system, and it's with me. It's with me all the time. And now too, it's cool. You go riding at the beach, do it downwinder or something like that. Totally cool to take your phone with you. You can have your headphones, Bluetooth headphones. And that's been kind of a bit of a revelation, actually.
It's just sometimes the simple things like that you're like, oh, I've been dealing without this. And now that you're doing it, it's like, how was I managing? That's just one of those.
Sometimes also maybe not taking your phone to the beach can be okay. But when you got to do it, it's nice to, super secure under your suit.
Yep.
It's waterproof. So
for the downwinder, downwinders, that's I've got an Apple Watch and I could probably get a signal, but at the beach, it's maybe a little questionable where we're at. If I were going to do a downwinder and I didn't know maybe how far I was going to make it, what the wind conditions were going to be like, and I knew I was just going to come ashore somewhere at one of the boundary roads, then I'm going to want my phone with me
so you want to take photos with your buddies afterwards, right?
Yeah, right. So I was actually looking at that bag, Matt. What is that called? In case people want to look that one up.
DTS phone pouch.
Cool. I saw that earlier. I was doing a little research before I got on here with you. That looks like something.
We have a little mini version coming next year that just fits your key fob nicely.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
real nice little piece.
Yeah, we like to say the stash under the fender, or just sitting it on the tire or inside one of the coils. It's like everybody knows that's anybody who's a surfer or kiter or whatever, winger.
The best is you come in from a session and you look down and it's sitting there in the mud underneath your car, sitting right there because it's like someone bumped your car and it fell down.
That's awesome. And aside from, I think harness wise, man. I think the one I started with was the Majestic, and that was an incredibly comfortable harness. And it's challenging because everybody's built differently. Not all harnesses are going to fit all body types the best. So you kind of got to. I always used to say it's the best harness for you is the one that fits you the best, regardless of what the price range was on that. If it fits you and is comfortable, puts a smile on your face, then that's the ideal piece, and get out there and use that. But man, the old Mystic Majestic for the longest time, was a good one. And then
that was pre-shell harness days, right? The oldie one.
I think.
Yeah. The old Majestic pre-shell harness was like sitting in a comfortable couch. It had so much padding.
Yeah.
It weighed about 40 pounds when it was wet, but it was just layers and layers of foam and super plush. Yeah.
I think my first one was actually a hard shell, and I think.
I know you got Gen 1 Majestic X, I recall.
That probably is. Yep. Probably. I think I have it sitting over here because I took the back plate we were using. I was wanting to kit some of the guys out with a Insta360 pole that goes off the back plate, and so you can drill through those carbon plates and mount them up nice and snug, and they give you that good perspective. But man, that's when I think about I don't want to use, I think game changing is a little overused, but that was definitely an aha moment in kiting, and then once I switched over to a rope slider with that combo, geez, dude, heaven. So nice.
Yeah, it was same for me. It's like if we went back in the history of kite surfing and looked at some of like the big, the big sort of gear jumps, and it's like, good shell harness with a rope slider was for me like one of the biggest movements in the sport. And like you guys, like, most of these surfboard guy, and going to a ropes spreader bar was like absolutely life changing. Like I used to wear my harness so loose so it would move around, like before the rope days. Like I literally never, I would put it on and off, just, suck my gut in a bit, not even. It was so loose, I could just like, breathe in a bit and it would just fall straight onto the ground.
Hula hoop it.
One time I was riding one time with a twin tip, and I did some jump and flying through the air, landed upside down. The harness came off of my waist, and I just managed to hook my feet and catch it before the harness and everything would have gone. And I'm holding onto the harness by my feet, and I had to somehow swim around to get the harness back into my waist. That's how loose I used to ride my harness.
You were fully committed on the dead man there. That was hanging from your feet from the harness, man.
Yeah, I would have lost kite and everything.
What was one of the early Mystic harnesses that had a slider? It was where the whole, I think the spreader bar was short. It was only
the two-face.
Yeah, the two-face.
It was an asymmetrical harness.
Two-face. Yes.
It was a year or two ahead of me joining the company. I feel like I still ended up with some on clearance somehow or something like that. But it didn't take. But it was an asymmetrical harness, so you'd order one if you were right foot back and a different one if you're left foot back, or you turned it upside down. I can't remember. One way or the other.
I think you just turned it upside down.
I think you just turned it upside down. The idea was ahead of its time.
It was I had one, and I remember.
Good on one side, right?
It worked great because it only pivoted from like your line of center and over to your hip, and which depending on which way you wanted that to go. So as a goofy foot, I had it sliding to the right.
I don't think Mystic ever did it, but I mean people tried like a sliding hook, like that was a thing,
right? Those were fun and good R&D. I had one come off. The buckle just came undone. I think it was a webbing, probably a 2-inch webbing strap. You feed it through and down and under. And I probably just was hurrying along and didn't, it was a decent wave day and I wanted to get on the water and I probably just didn't secure it properly. And I do remember, I'm turning on a wave and then all of a sudden my bar's out at full length here. And I'm like, gosh, what the heck's going on? Well, the whole damn harness came off and it was just, I had one hand on the bar and I ended up letting go. I was mid carving off the top of a wave and there goes my whole situation, just gone. I'm sitting there on my surfboard like, wow. And I can hear Steve is on the shoreline walking back upwind and I hear his laugh from like 50 yards away. He saw it, he's just guffawing, just laughing out loud at me. And that was like, yep, all right, well, I had to custom order that one and see how well it worked. Luckily I had my surfboard and just paddled in. That was no big deal. But those were the R&D, the trials, man. They were fun. You always wanted to get something that gave you that good surf experience.
I think it's fair to say early days of kite surfing was always an adventure.
Dude. Well, and dude, speaking of which, let's go kite here because flipping through, I was super stoked to see the pulse. Like it's almost like you're looking through a current mag, and yet there's like they show an old ad in there, and you're like, yeah, look at that. And I'm like, oh, that's current. That's like that is a present day offering. The pulse with a full 5-line setup.
Full 5-line seat.
Dude, that is cool. That is cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, that what are you going to produce 50 of those? But I mean, that is going to be cool.
I mean, I'll put it this way: we're not going to update it every year. That's for sure.
Yeah. But it looks awesome, and that's one of those legacy designs that you can probably, like you say, just hang on to it, man. And those that want it know where to find it. And you got the good size offering. I saw that like that, man. There's a little tear in my eye when I saw that. That's just for. The responsiveness, they didn't have the big sweet spot at all, but the responsiveness and
something about the way a sea kite pulls through the turns and stuff. Totally. It's like, there's nothing else like it.
Yep. And remember using those for as surf kites, and for those of us who are riding in areas where the wind and swell were going the same direction, like almost all the time, where you're coming out and back, you're coming out in front of it and back and out and back repeatedly. Yep. Man, those sea kites worked great for that. You didn't
always
need
in the right spot for sure.
Yeah. You didn't need drift. I would much rather have that responsiveness and that loop, and just
well, it sits back in the window. So when you're going down the line, the kite is just kind of sitting there in the right spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, good on you guys for bringing that back, man. That's cool. Yeah. I was stoked to see that. We've talked North Mystic stuff. Is there anything else that I know you got? I know you can talk. I know you got more things. If you want, cool. If not, we can move on and hit some other topics.
More stuff coming from North and Mystic.
Yeah, or anything else that you're fired up about.
Yeah, we've got our Ultra Kite coming in the spring, so they're going to be pretty exciting. It's a little some proprietary technology and some but very very light, high performance leading edge material. We're really excited. Cool. So, we'll see those sort of sometime this spring, and, we've had them, they were in, our guys were using them in King of the Air and stuff like that. I mean, you can find the spy shots are out there.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to release those to the public this spring. And I'm lucky I get early kites and stuff like that. I've had a 9-meter reach since, I don't know, I want to say I had a 9-meter reach kind of through the summer and stuff, and it's sick. And, in your neighborhood, like Pat's had the reaches and orbits and stuff, so you guys have all tried them for the most part. So we're excited about it.
That's nice to see, man. And I don't know what you can talk about here with, like a product that is an in-house, something proprietary to North that you're not having to outsource, that is, I don't want to just say on par. It is that next level. It is in that Alula conversation, but in house. I mean that has got to be
that with our wings though. Like our leading edge material on the the end-weave material on our wings that's an entirely in-house product.
Yeah,
and that's exciting because we've got the world's biggest sales maker making products specifically for us.
100%.
It certainly sounds like a good story. Yeah, but also, there's some cost savings versus buying it from someone else off the shelf.
Yeah,
we don't, the margins are different in some cases, whether it's shipping, everything. I mean, it's a material that's made in Sri Lanka at our sailmaker. Getting a couple of rolls of that over to where they're making our kites or wings and stuff is certainly got to be a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
So that's always been part of our story. It's taken a little while to get it there, but you'll see certainly more and more of that in the future, and we've got some other exciting stuff that we'll share for another video.
Yeah, that's good leverage to have, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. That's something that you're not.
And it's fun for us guys on the sales force. Like we get this stuff super early. Like I already have August 2026 release wings. And like the sales force already. We already have our sales samples on stuff that far out right now. It's really exciting, and it's fun on a personal level. You get the stuff a little earlier, and I'm still a bit of a gearhead at heart, and I love getting the new toys early. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh man, I can only imagine when you get to open those up and roll. I know. I forget what Pat was walking around with the other day. Yep. I know he had some advanced.
Yeah. Well, we've got new wetsuits from the fall collection already, and that's cool. Always really fun. And it's pretty awesome as a sales rep, like getting to use the gear, before we're showing it to our customers. Like you can really, really change the way you can speak about the product when you've just had a session on it.
Yep. Versus,
versus it's showing a catalog rendering of it or something, and
totally,
I think it's going to do this or that. So yeah.
Yep. And plus, you can get out ahead of something if there was a challenge somewhere. You're like, ooh, I'm getting feedback from reps that they're noticing this, and let's stop the run. Let's make an adjustment.
We can flag fit issues on samples, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, samples are inherently not always final fit, of course. It's certainly good to flag it.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, what? How about let's talk vacation spots, man. I know you like to get around and ride. What's a good vacation spot? What's your stealth spot?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at, you sent out some questions to prepare for, and Well, I didn't prepare for it, but I did look at them for a second. I was going to say, I was going to say Cabarete in the Dominican Republic because it's kind of sentimental to me. I've been going there forever, since back in the windsurfing days and stuff. And it's fun. It's you can dress it up or dress it down, as they say.
Sure.
Like, you can do whatever you want to do. They're super high end or not high end, and the conditions are great. Great kiting spot, great winging. For anyone in the Northeast U.S. or Southeast U.S. and Canada, super easy to get to, and still good on the affordability. So Cabarete is like, I was gonna say Cabarete, and I've been there the last 2 winters actually, and had some great times there. But I think right now my favorite spot, if I was planning a kite trip this year and I was taking maybe taking the family and stuff, it's a bit. Being a good company man saying this because we have a Club North there, but the spot, the Filviana Resort in Portugal is
cool.
Absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing hotel, great restaurant, great bar, great rooms. They got a whole health wellness thing there with like amazing gym and the Turkish spa and all the rest of the stuff, and really cool. Mountain biking and all the rest, but the kiting and the winging is freaking lights out.
Dude.
And it happens you walk down a little path through the woods and you're on the beach, beautiful long beach. I've been there twice the last 2 summers. We've run sales meeting there, but I've also gone a little early and spent a little time on my own program there.
Yeah.
And I've had 2 of the best surf kiting days in years. And it's on regular footer. So it's right foot back, amazing down the line riding. They can have very good flat water because it's kind of behind it. The launch site's kind of behind a jetty. They can have very good flat water riding there too, and the winging's really fun too. And
Dude,
cool. You
cool.
can wing at the wave spot, or it's a super easy in and out off the water in front of the resort, or you can go way out to where there's this like big rolling ocean.
Yeah.
So Filviana, Portugal. And Portugal is an amazing country to travel to. Great cost of living. Really epically cool people. And the food's amazing and stuff too. So,
that's a good shout out.
Club North place in Portugal is absolute epic spot.
That is a good shout out. Thanks for sharing that. It was funny. I think again talking with Neil from Slingshot previously. He mentioned the DR as well, and talking about the like the windsurfing days. It sounds like you guys are probably crossing paths. I'm guessing in some of those scenarios.
Yeah.
You're not going to fill me in on any of that, are you?
We had a little overlap. I mean, I was there at the tail end of windsurfing, and then and in the early days of kite surfing as well.
Yeah.
And back then, I worked for a publisher that we had a windsurfing magazine, and we were putting out one of the first kite surfing magazines. So, I used to tag along with the editors. I was, as you might imagine, on the sales side of the business. And I used to tag along with the editors to like whatever they call it, the Kiteboard World Cup or whatever they call it. And every summer in Cape Hatteras, just have an absolute blast.
Yeah. Dude, man, the early days. Those are near and dear, I still remember flipping through a surfer mag, and it was like a back inside cover, lower quarter part of the page, and it was an image of you could see kind of from almost as if the kiter was jumping over the photographer, but he was just riding a surfboard, like a regular surfboard, and it was an old, like a 2-line Whippica. And it caught my attention. I was like, what in the heck is that? And I stopped, and it was kind of one of those moments that just grabs you, and you're like, I got to find out what this is and how the heck can I get involved in that? And then I think the next summer, Steve from Matt Kite had brought in a couple of Whippica classics, and I grabbed a video online, a VHS cassette tape. It was the old Kiteboarding 101, How to Rip, I think, something like that. Like a 45-minute instructional. And my buddy Mark and I, Hooksman, we sat and watched that video a couple of times. We're like, all right, let's go have at it. Steve let us take the old Whippicas out, and dude, it was just great. I mean, so much fun, like just being at the front end, being in the early stages of development in any new sport or endeavor is just kind of fun, but
and terrifying.
And terrifying.
in the case of kite surfing,
And now
it's amazing those early years how much stuff broke.
Yeah,
everything broke.
Yeah.
Like I distinctly remember, like I did most of my learning in Cape Hatteras because it was like, well, it's still an amazing place to learn to kite surf. But
sure,
as there was zero chance of going upwind, it was a particularly good place to learn to kite surf because it's so easy to set up downwinders. So, we've done you drop off at one turnout, ride down to the next turnout. So I'm riding along, minding my own business. And sure enough, my harness line breaks. So this is like a 2-line kite. It just breaks. The hook just breaks, which, was happening back then. It seemed like all the time. So I'm riding along now, like with no harness line. So, bars like yanked right out. So I did the obvious smart thing. I just hooked the control bar right under my harness hook. So, this is clearly I didn't have a quick release at this point. Not that quick releases have been invented. I'm just riding along, power steering down at my waist with the, with my bar snugly hooked into my
and they were huge too. The bars were, gosh, they were.
It was a cut down windsurfing boom, basically, right?
Is that what it was?
Like literally, they were literally like, I was riding these Nash 2-line kites. They used the exact same, as far as I could tell. It was a windsurfing boom that was straight. And they just cut into lengths with a couple of goofy little spots on the end for the lines to attach to.
Yep.
So I had my control bar nicely jammed tightly into my harness hook.
And the wrist leash was legit just a wrist leash that went.
One thing that worked well.
2/3 of the way.
The 2-line kite, your wrist leash was the only way you could get the thing to stop. You crashed in the water. Sometimes when it was windy, it would just bounce right up and keep pulling you.
They did want to go. They wanted that shape was so deep. Yeah. Yep. But the upwind, I know what you're saying. Like, no matter how well, and in fairness, we were probably all riding wakeboards too, and so that wasn't helping. But the upwind ability, for someone starting now, it is incredible.
Yeah.
What an amazing time to get into wind sports, period. Kiting and wing. And I'm not sure where sailboarding's at in that, but I think, instruction is at a level that is very measured and safe. And then the gear, a person can go out with a competent instructor and expect, every person's different, but you have a really good chance of riding on your first session, whereas that, man, geez, dude, that was not the case. So that's awesome. And what a good place to be at present, because that's the development is just, things have come so far, and things are comfortable now, and they're reliable, and the kites have wind range, and their durability, and so many different things are so much better. We made
it. Great retailers like Matt Kites to work with, where they're going to get get great advice and great service.
With a lot of luck and some brand support, you know what I mean? There's that's only half the puzzle, man. You guys doing what you do on your end helps make our jobs easier on this side. So always thankful, man. Always. Well, let's wrap it with what do you have for? I know you got a favorite holiday cocktail.
Holiday cocktails. I mean.
See, there's too many to choose from.
Well, you can't go wrong. Like a classic this time of year, of course. I mean, coffee. Bailey's coffee on Christmas morning is a classic.
Yeah.
An Aperol Spritz is always very festive, of course.
Now, what's that one? I'm not familiar.
Aperol Spritz is some Prosecco, a little splash of soda water, and most importantly is a liqueur called Aperol, which has a orange flavor to it. It's Italian, has a bit of an orange vibe to it.
Yeah.
And you should look it up and give it a shot. It'll change your life.
I picture you with your brandy snifter with that.
I'm probably about 20 minutes away from cracking into a locally brewed in Canada Sapporo.
Yes. Well, good on you, man. Dude, I want to thank you so much, Matt. Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day.
I'm always surprised anyone wants to speak to me, so I appreciate it very much.
I'm trying not to be too wordy here. I want to be respectful of your time, and because I could keep going, man. It's what we do here. But pleasure. We'll back at you, man. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And however you all celebrate out there, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you all on the water.
Fantastic. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Matt.
Have a great day. Cheers.
So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year